I'm Tiffany Teske, and I'm here today to show you how to put on your wrap bracelet. It's got a series of knots here. There's 2 on this side. Those really don't do anything in the adjustment of putting on your bracelet, so those are just functional and holding your bracelet together. The one you want to be concerned about is the larger one here, that's the coiled and knotted knot, basically. That's going to move up and down this side in order to adjust your bracelet. So when I put my bracelet on, I'm right-handed and this is my left hand. You're just gonna basically, do these instructions the other way for if you want to put it on your right hand. But I usually like to put it on with the beads along the top of my wrist here, and you can also squish those down to fit your wrist, because this is on wire that you can bend. So make that comfortable for yourself. Have those 2 knots up here on the top, on the outside of your wrist, and then I basically like to put the bead more towards the inside of my wrist here. Now this long cord is what you're going to be pulling when you adjust, and this one is going to get tighter along your wrist. So when you're ready to do that, excuse my finger because I'm going to cover up this knot, I basically hold onto this knot with my fingers and pull onto the cord so that it gets tighter. And then when it gets too tight for me to do that anymore, I just kind of adjust it again, and then basically make sure that it's up as far as it can be along the wire there. So that'll be, just make sure that it's comfortable for yourself. And then I take this cord, which its natural way to go would be this way, so just don't start going this way and kind of, screw up that part of your leather, but go down with the way that it's kind of meant to go, so down and along your wrist like this. And I like to do this pretty evenly, so make your coils, about the same tightness as you're going along. And it's easier for getting it off to put them next to each other and not go over the top of them. So I get as tight as I can until the end, and then with this last one I cross it before I put it back over my hand, and I pull. You don't have to be too worried about pulling and anything coming loose or anything. The leather's fine to be pulled, and this is a little bit maybe uncomfortable, but you want to get this as tight as you possibly can at first. So now you see that this one's loose, but it's all on. And then I usually take each one of these, and this takes, just a minute, but basically to make everything more even and tight to your hand. Okay, so you've got it there. Then I usually take the ones that are a little bit looser, which are the last ones you did, and pull them over this way. Usually about 5 of them. You usually have about 10 loops on your bracelet. 8 to 10, I would say. So there, that's how your bracelet should look. Now I'll show you how to take it off. You would take, go back and pull these over. Okay, and pull this back over this way too. And then you basically want to look for one of the looser ones to try to pull back over, right? So I just pull on this. My ring gets in the way a little bit there. There we go. And then once you've gotten that done, you basically just, whatever way works for you, either to go this way or you can unwrap the other way. There we go. Until they're all undone. And then you're back to your 2 knots that you've got here and this knot, and you basically need to, I've got this pulled rather tight, so just kind of, I hold it against my body often too, if you feel like you need another hand, loosen that up a bit, and then find the one that's got the loose cord, and you just pull that one, and then slide it off. So there you go, that's how to get your bracelet on and off. So the nice thing about your wrap bracelet is it can also be an anklet very easily, and there's a bit easier way that I'm going to show you how to put it on than pulling your foot through every single loop. So here's your bracelet, or your anklet. Slip it over like this. You can do it either way, like it doesn't really matter which side the bead's on, I'm just used to doing it this way. So here's that bead again, and you're basically going to take your long piece of cord and just make sure that you can, it's a little bit easier on your ankle because you can use both your hands more readily, right? So just pull that cord, and on your ankle you kind of notice more if it's too tight, right? So I go, you know, I want it to be snug but not cutting off my circulation when I stand up, or if my ankle swells or something. So just make sure that it's nice and, I would say, loose like that. Adjust how you want it. Now, basically, I'm going to cross these two cords and bring it up over my foot, and then cross again in front of my ankle and bring behind my foot. So this is just so you're not having to put your foot, through in an awkward way. It kind of saves some time here to do this crossing back and forth. And then you're left to basically just, let's see, hold on this one. And then for the last one, just, you'll have to cross and then put your foot in. Try to get this as tight as I can while I'm on camera. So that's about as tight as I'm going to be able to do on camera. But you would go, if you have the time, and you take the time to make sure that you got it as tight as you could. But now all this slack, I can basically just loosen all of these up. Because I find that the anklets look better. You can put the leather on either side of them, but I kind of like how it is with the leather stacking up, down, and like hanging nicely along my ankle, and then having the beads at the top. So that way it's not really tight, it's very comfortable and loose, and when you walk it will just stay where it should hang the way that it should.